Travel was strong this holiday season, with the TSA screening more than 2.6 million passengers before Christmas alone. And airlines, well, it looks like they were able to keep up with the crowds. 2023 marking the lowest flight cancellation rate that we've seen in 5 years. We want to bring in Lindsay Schwimer, Hopper's consumer travel expert. Lindsay, it's good to have you here. So it looks like airlines were able to keep up pace with the crowds that they saw over the holidays and really throughout 2023. So how does that set us up in terms of travel demand for 2024?
We just came out of one of the busiest travel holiday seasons we've seen to date. So if that's any indicator of what we expect in 2024, we're expecting strong demand and Americans continuing to be eager to get back out there and take those trips in the new year.
Lindsay, what does that demand look like? Where are you expecting to see consumers spending money to travel most? Are you thinking domestic? Are you thinking international?
We continue to see strong demand both domestically and internationally. Warm destinations like Florida, Mexico, the Caribbean are really topping the list for 2024, as well as those bigger bucket list international trips. So places across Europe, Asia are really popular, Tokyo, Paris for the 2024 Olympics. So we're really seeing trips across both domestic and international for 2024.
Lindsay, how much are consumers paying? Are we going to see more relief? And if we are, then how much relief could consumers see relative to the prices that they paid last year?
So good news for travelers, we're not going to be paying as much as we paid this time last year for trips. Airfare prices the first 6 months of the year are projected to be lower than what we saw in 2023. So if you are booking a trip both domestically and internationally, you're going to see some relief when you're booking those tickets.
All right, well, I love to hear that, Lindsay, but I know that one thing that's been challenging for a lot of the airlines that we cover here has been the lack of return of business travel, because business travelers typically are booking some of those more expensive fares, as you know. What can you tell us about what business travel is expected to look like for 2024?
We're continuing to see business travel make a comeback as we head into the new year. So expect to see big cities like New York City, big metro areas starting to see more demand on the business travel front as well as internationally.
Lindsay, when it comes to some of the headwinds that consumers should be aware of or deal traps that maybe they could encounter over the next 12 months, what's your advice?
I'd say always book with flexibility if you can avoid delays and cancellations. While delay and cancellation rates, as you mentioned earlier, are the lowest that we've seen since pre-pandemic, airlines will still be working to build capacity and maintain those low levels heading into the new year. We always recommend travelers add trip protection. We have something on Hopper and other providers called flight disruption assistance. That way you protect your trip, add peace of mind when you're booking those 2024 plans.
Right, and that's a really important point, Lindsay, when you think about the advice for travelers. I promise not to ask you a big econ question here, but we know that the U.S. dollar is expected to experience a lot of declines in the coming year. Can you talk to me a little bit about where consumers can travel, where their dollar can go further? Are there places internationally where can consumers get a little bit of a deal moving forward?
We're still seeing good deals abroad heading into 2024, as well as places in South America. So if you're looking to stretch your dollar a little further, look a little bit off the beaten path. You can sometimes find some really great deals, and you'll be able to spend a little more once you actually get there.
All right, Lindsay. Well, we really appreciate you joining us and giving us all that travel advice and insight. Thanks, Lindsay Schwimer, Hopper consumer travel expert, for joining us.